Hello everyone and welcome to the video portion of section 89, which we call 20 Minutes of Truth. This is the lifestyle portion or the holistic portion of both the practice and the website. And as the name implies, this is the alignment setter's code for healthy living and a healthy lifestyle. An organized, sequential, step-by-step approach to systematically lower stress and inflammation in the body. For non-patients of the practice, welcome. For patients, these are things that you can do outside the office to improve the results that you get inside the office. Because the part of the brain that manages stress is the same part of the brain that manages posture. So the better you manage your lifestyle stresses, diet, nutrition, hormones, sleep, exercise, and inflammation, the better you'll manage your alignment, correction, posture, and health. This is information that many patients are looking for, but it is difficult to find. So listen, learn, apply, and please don't forget to share. For all visitors, I invite you to take a look at the chiropractic portions of the website. And if you have not been into the office yet, I invite you to call to come in and get checked. We help people recover from injury, improve their posture, get relief from chronic pain, and avoid unnecessary or unwanted surgeries every single day. Hopefully we can do the same for you. Following the Section 89 program is how you get the absolute best long-term results. And here are the steps. The first step is a cleanse, discussed here. Second is digestion and nutrition, healing up the gut. Third, balancing hormones. Fourth is exercise, proper therapeutic exercise. And fifth is posture, which impacts and affects all body function. For non-patients, take as many steps as you can, because the more steps you take, the closer you are to reaching your health goals. And with that, as you will see, everything that I cite comes from peer-reviewed scientific literature that is acknowledged and accepted worldwide by the medical community. So proceed with confidence. These are not my opinions. These are the conclusions that scientists and researchers make from the studies that they do. Most people want to get healthy, they just don't know where to start. Well, it starts right here, and it starts with a cleanse. Everybody knows that the first step in healing a wound is to clean it. That is as true inside the body as it is outside the body. Nobody stitches closed a dirty cut, but you can't see inside the body the way you can look at a cut. So it raises some questions. How do you know, right? Am I toxic? Where do toxins come from? How does a toxic person feel? How do you measure your level of toxicity? And what is a proper cleanse? Now, I get people that ask me all the time, hey, don't we have organs and systems that cleanse the body already? Why do I need to do a cleanse? Good question. Yes, we have a liver, we have kidney, we have intestines that absolutely cleanse the body. They're designed for all of the internal toxins that are created through natural breakdown materials, waste products, metabolites that are produced as new tissue takes its place. And on top of that, we have to realize that there are over 100,000 chemicals outside the body that are used by Americans and about 1,000 new chemicals that are introduced each and every year. So understanding statistics like this helps you understand research like this that says that researchers found an average of 200 industrial chemicals and pollutants in umbilical cord blood. Yes, we're battling environmental pollutants before we're even born. Now, the body does a pretty good job at processing many of the environmental chemicals out there, but we get into trouble when we have 1, repeated exposure, and 2, the lack of nutrients to properly process and eliminate them. So it doesn't take long to realize that these pollutants can very quickly start to build up in the body and your health start to suffer. Now, there's several classifications of toxins. Let's go over the 3 majors. 1, carcinogenic, meaning they're cancer-causing. 2, hormone disruptors. And 3, neurotoxins, meaning they're poisonous to the brain, spinal cord, and nerve tissue. And where do the majority of these toxins come from? Well, I call them the 5 Ps. Pollutants, processed foods, pesticides, pills, and household products. So what I did is I chose 5 very common health concerns that directly correlate to environmental pollutants in the literature. Weight gain, poor digestion, hormonal imbalances, pain, and fatigue. Yeah, those are familiar. I'll quickly go over how they impact the body directly, and then I'll share with you the many ways that it affects the body indirectly as well. And then hopefully you'll begin to appreciate the very far-reaching effects that toxins have on the body. The first one is weight gain, which is very straightforward. Toxins are stored in fat tissue. And as a defense response to that toxin, the fat cell gets fatter. And when the fat cell gets fatter, you get fatter. So it's time to lose some weight. But most people, when they lose weight, just restrict calories. They don't improve their nutrition, meaning the nutrition that the body needs to convert and eliminate toxins. So they successfully melt that fat cell and release that stored toxin right into the bloodstream. But instead of that toxin being converted and eliminated properly, it just circulates in the body and gets redeposited back in the fat tissue. And when that happens, the fat cell that just got small just gets fatter again. It's very difficult for a toxic person to lose weight, and it is even more difficult for them to keep the weight off. Now, we used to think that fat cells just sat around. What we now know is they're very busy excreting their own chemicals, disrupting several other functions of the body. Chemicals that can alter cravings, cognitive function, energy levels, and yes, inflammation. Yes, fat cells produce an abundance of inflammation, causing much undue stress on the body. This article identifies fat leaching chemicals interfering with thyroid function and the cell's mitochondria. So if you've gotten fat cells that have gotten fatter from toxins, they are busy releasing chemicals that bang up your thyroid and break down the energy-producing mitochondria of the cell. Number 1, weight gain. Number 2, poor digestion. Now let's talk about how toxins tear up the digestive tract in 2 ways. Number 1, it breaks down the lining or the barrier of the gut. And number 2, it disrupts the good to bad bacteria ratios. First, the lining. Toxins break apart these bonds called tight junctions. What toxins? Remember the 5 Ps? Here's a few of them. Pesticides, pollutants, and pills. Specifically NSAIDs, which are your Aleve, your Advils, and your Tylenols. It says that the lining can begin to break down in as little as 12 hours and take up to 1 to 3 years to repair. Now, this breakdown obviously leads to inflammation of the digestive tract, resulting in inflammatory and irritable bowel disease. But that's just the local response. The kicker is the indirect response. Because with broken barriers, that local inflammation spreads throughout the body and causes a massive immune response. Because 70 to 80% of the immune system surrounds the gut. True. Why? Because the immune system is responsible for identifying things that are not supposed to be in your body and attack it. And when you have broken barriers and things constantly getting through that shouldn't, you have a proper immune response turning into an autoimmune response. An autoimmune response, what's that? That's when the immune system looks at self-tissue and says that you're not supposed to be here and attacks yourself. Multiple sclerosis, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and a thyroid condition called Hashimoto's are some of the autoimmune conditions that you've probably heard of or even have. So wait, what is the literature saying? It's saying that there's a major correlation between digestive conditions and autoimmune conditions. So if your current approach to your autoimmune condition does not include addressing digestion, you may be missing a massive piece of the puzzle. On top of autoimmunity, the literature also states that widespread inflammation from gut permeability also correlates to chronic fatigue syndrome and major depressive disorder. Yes, inflammatory-driven fatigue and depression coming from a broken gut barrier. I know. So how much Prozac is going to fix that? And yes, toxins not only break down the lining of the gut, they also disrupt good to bad bacteria ratios. This has correlations to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and insulin resistance. So number 2, poor digestion. Number 3, hormone disruption. Now, when you have a whole category of toxins called hormone disruptors, it's not too difficult to understand that they are going to disrupt the hormone balance of the body. So what these chemicals do is they come in and either bind to or block the receptors that are reserved for naturally occurring hormones in the body. This alters the cell's response, and now you have hormone imbalance. No surprise that this leads to developmental and reproductive abnormalities. And indirectly, there are other concerns related to hormone imbalances that include obesity, metabolic syndrome, and type 2 diabetes. So number 3, hormone disruption. Now, you want to handicap yourself in your fight to get your health back? Try balancing hormone levels while your body is filled with hormone disrupting chemicals. Makes it extremely tough. If you're trying to balance hormone levels in the body without doing a cleanse first, you just put the cart before the horse. Number 4 is pain, which is very interesting. Research shows that toxins affect the cell on a genetic level, meaning they alter the gene or the gene expression. Now, when the body gets injured, it does release a pain signal as it should. That initiates the repair process. Toxins can alter that gene expression, so even though the injury is getting better, the pain signal is still being released. That turns a short-term pain signal into a chronic, long-term, ongoing pain signal. Not a good thing. And the result of this is a chronic inflammatory process. And if that inflammation happens in nerve tissue, studies conclude that it can lead to Parkinson's disease, where this research article says that it can be induced by pesticides and pollutants. More of the 5 Ps. And in addition to Parkinson's, you have neuropathic pain, which many people call fibromyalgia. And if that inflammation is in the lung tissue, you got asthma, allergies, and a hacking cough. Oh wait, I know. Why don't we combat that inflammation with a medication? Let's say Cymbalta. Well, one issue is one of the quite numerous side effects of Cymbalta is joint and muscle pain. Yes, a pain medication with a side effect of pain. Huh? Well, okay, how about Lyrica? Even worse. Low back or side pain, stabbing pain, joint pain, muscle aches and pains. Do me a favor and check with your doctor if you're taking one of these. 4th direct correlation in the literature to toxins, pain. Number 5, fatigue. Very interesting on how this one works as well. It says that toxins damage the part of the cell called the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the power plants or the energy producing parts of the cell. So if the part of the cell that's responsible for producing energy gets damaged, it's not producing energy. And as a result, conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome have been correlated in the literature by chemicals and or food toxins. But what we also have to take into consideration are all the other processes that need energy as well. And if parts of the body don't get the energy that they need, we have consequences. As this research article indicates, cancer, autism, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and cardiovascular illness. Number 5, fatigue. So again, these are the 5 direct correlations in the literature. And here are the many indirect correlations found. So now you can see the direct and the very important indirect correlations that a toxic load has on your health. And now for the legal disclaimer. I do not treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any conditions mentioned. I help restore normal function of the body. And when we do that, good things happen. So whatever your state of health is, yes, a cleanse is a very good place to start. Now, there are many differences between this program and others. The major difference is the ability to measure and monitor progress. And we do that in a few ways, because if you're not testing, you're guessing. The first tool we use is called a metabolic assessment form, which is completed by everyone doing a cleanse. It has over 150 questions in over 20 different categories. Take your time, fill it out, and be as accurate as you can so we can get a very clear picture of where you are at the beginning of the cleanse and at the end of the cleanse. Now, to learn how the metabolic assessment form is used to assess progress, click the Learning Center tab and go to Cleanse when you're done watching the video. Now, the second tool we use is for those that come into the office, and it's called a bioimpedance analysis. And if you want to learn more about the BIA, go to the Learning Center tab under Cleanse at the end of the video as well. It's a great video produced by a colleague of mine for both men and women. The BIA looks at several different measurements to monitor progress and overall health, like body fat, hydration, nutrition, toxicity, metabolism, and others. It tells you many things that the scale can't tell you when you do a cleanse. Because you can do a very bad cleanse and lose weight. And you can do a very good cleanse and not lose weight. There's much more to a cleanse than just the scale. And the third tool is a food sensitivity test. This is for those that are looking to continue on to the second step of digestion after the cleanse. When you're following a cleanse, you're following a very hypoallergenic diet and your food choices are narrow. So coming off the cleanse, the first question you're going to ask is, what can I eat now? The results of the food sensitivity test will show you how to expand your diet properly without including the inflammatory foods that your body reacts to. For those that suffer from chronic conditions and ongoing pain, the chances of you having a food sensitivity are extraordinarily high. If you would like to learn more about the food sensitivity test, again, go to the Learning Center tab under Cleanse. So what is a cleanse program? Well, it's going clean, lean, green, and mean. Going clean is avoiding the unapproved food list, the foods that you are to stay away from, along with following the approved food list, the foods you're to enjoy. The unapproved foods are the processed foods, packaged foods, fast foods, sugar foods, and the 12 things to avoid. The approved foods are the healthy foods, the proteins, the vegetables, the fruits, and all of the foods on the approved food list. Foods that are nutrient rich and excellent for you. The second step is going lean, and that's proper supplementation. Now, the word lean has nothing to do with supplementation. I just couldn't think of a word that rhymed with supplementation. Now, the cool part of the cleanse program is it has one and only one required supplement. And it also doubles as a meal replacement. It's called Buddha Trinity, Trinity being the three things: liver support, intestinal support, and the anti-inflammatory, antioxidant support. It even comes in 2 flavors of chocolate and vanilla. Now you can take additional supplements if you'd like, it's totally fine, but this is the only one that's required. Other supplements that are commonly taken but not mandatory: additional anti-inflammatory, antioxidant support, vitamin D, fish oils, and a good probiotic. Add as many or as few as you would like to enhance the cleanse. The third part of an effective cleanse is to go green. These are not just vegetables, they're a specific kind of vegetable called cruciferous vegetables. All have fantastic nutrients that the liver uses to convert and eliminate toxins from the body. Another way to go green is to juice. Now, if you don't have a juicer, don't worry, it's not mandatory. But if you do, dust that baby off and get it going. The program contains wonderful instructions and recipes on how to juice properly during the cleanse. And finally, you got to get mean. Not in a sense that you got to be a mean person, but rather you got to get mentally tough, because the physical always follows the mental. You will struggle. You'll want to cheat. Relationships will change. People will discourage you, and you'll doubt yourself. All you're doing when you do a cleanse is making other people uncomfortable. So they want you to change in order for them to feel better. Don't give in to it. Stay strong. And at the same time, avoid those toxic emotions as well. So go clean with your diet, go lean with your supplementation, go green with your vegetables and your juicing, and get mean. Get mentally tough. So to answer the questions that we proposed in the beginning: am I toxic? You were before you were even born. Where do toxins come from? Primarily the 5 Ps: pollutants, pesticides, processed foods, pills, and household products. How does a toxic person feel? They can feel the 5 direct ways or the countless indirect ways. How do you measure toxicity in the body? Metabolic assessment form, bioimpedance analysis, or the ELISA food sensitivity test. And what is a proper cleanse? Well, it's going clean, lean, green, and mean. Cleansing the body is a process. It's not an event. It's meant to be done gradually over a period of time. Now, as far as programs, we have a few choices on how to take that first step. So pick the one that's right for you. And whichever one you do, it is one of the most affordable, comprehensive cleanses on the market, hands down. The first approach is the Bronze program. It's for the do-it-yourselfers that are planning on just doing the cleanse and not taking the next step, or are not sure about taking the next step on to healing digestion. Do-it-yourselfer means that it's for non-patients or for patients that just want to do it on their own. Awesome. If cleanse is all you're ready for, great, welcome aboard. Now, the program includes your 28-day supply of Buddha Trinity. And when you place your order, the supplement will be shipped UPS directly to you. You'll receive an email when it's shipped so you can track it all the way to your doorstep. It includes the program guide. That will be emailed to you at the time of your order. That way you can start reviewing the steps involved, the information, and prepare. Shopping, food, meals ahead of time while your supplements are being shipped. And your self-scored metabolic assessment form. And the cool part is I walk you through how to fill it out and how to score it. That's found under the Learning Center tab of the website under the drop-down cleanse. Very simple, very easy, very valuable. What's not included, but what I highly encourage you to do, is get a fat loss monitor. But don't worry, how to get one and how to use one is also found under the Learning Center tab. First approach: do-it-yourselfers, just doing the cleanse. It includes your supplement supply, your program guide, and the self-scored metabolic assessment form. If this is you, order the Bronze program for $229. Second approach, Silver program. It's the exact same as the Bronze program, only the addition of the bioimpedance analysis at the beginning and the end of the program. This is obviously for only those that come into the office to have the scan done. Again, it tracks body fat, hydration, nutrition, toxicity, metabolism, and others. It just takes a couple minutes, and the results are emailed to you within 24 hours of the analysis. Second approach, for in-office patients, just doing the cleanse, includes your supplement supply, your program guide, your self-scored metabolic assessment form, plus the bioimpedance analysis at the beginning and the end. If this is you, order the Silver cleanse for $249. Now the third approach, you guessed it, Gold program. This is for those that are planning on moving on to the next step of healing digestion. It's a real game changer. In order to expand your diet after the cleanse and avoid those foods that your body reacts to, we offer the food sensitivity test along with the cleanse program together at a discounted rate. Done separately, the cleanse is $249 and the food sensitivity test is also $249, totaling $498. But when you combine the two with the Gold program, we give you 20% savings, which brings it down from $498 to $399. Third approach, for either do-it-yourselfers or in-office patients, includes a supplement supply, program guide, metabolic assessment form, in-office bioimpedance, and the food sensitivity test. So for those looking to take the next step to healing digestion after the cleanse, we just made it that much easier. If this is you, order the Gold Cleanse program and get everything for $399. If you have any questions or would like to contact the office, we would be honored to partner with you on your pathway to health. I want to thank you for taking a proactive approach to your health. Holistic Chiropractic, where it is our mission to do things today that others won't, so tomorrow you can do what others can't.